Hello, welcome back to another review of one of Edgar Rice Burroughs' Barsoom novels. This is number 6, The Mastermind of Mars. The Mastermind of Mars, which we've seen Edgar Rice Burroughs, he started off the series with John Carter of Virginia, a Civil War vet who gets, by the power of something, transmigrates, at least in spirit at the beginning, to Mars. And this is a fantasy Mars where there are multi-limbed creatures fighting wars. There's red-skinned Martians who are princesses in need of saving. And as the books go along, we go from him and his princess, Dejah Thoris, to his family. And then from the family, we are getting a whole different story of a different Earthling. This one being Ulysses Paxton, who is maybe significantly another soldier. This one, a soldier of World War One. He gets blown up. Wakes up on the battlefield, finds that his legs are gone. He's for some reason hasn't bled to death, and he is a big fan of Edgar Rice Burroughs of these books, and looks up at the stars and is able to as well transmigrate to Mars, because maybe he is one of the true believers. This story opens with him indeed sending a letter to Edgar Rice Burroughs, like fan letter, saying like, hey, I'm going to tell you my story of Mars. I know it's true, just like you've told us that it's true that John Carter has been feeding you these stories. Here's another story for you. So we get Ulysses Paxton's story of his adventures on Mars. When he transmigrates to Mars, he finds himself in the kind of laboratory citadel of a Raz Savaz, who we find out through the story is a sort of a bizarre red Martian doctor, shown there on the cover as an aged man who has developed the technique of brain swapping, of taking brains, especially taking brains out of his older clients and putting them into sexy young bodies. And this, I mean, that when we say old clients, the oviparous red Martians can last for 1,000 years before maybe succumbing to old age, if that. And so, this is definitely giving them a lease on life, though we don't never go into the thing of, well, isn't that still 1,000-year-old brain? Wouldn't there be some deterioration there? Apparently not. Maybe it's revivified by all that young spunkness. Now, he takes on Ulysses as a apprentice, because he sees him as like, you are the ultimate outsider. You're not from this planet. You have none of your own loyalties. You will be completely loyal to me because I need you for a purpose. And as an aged old dude, you might wonder, I wonder what his purpose might be. He also encounters an aged really kind of nasty woman as he first enters, and she's kind of brushed out of the way, and he watches as her brain is transferred into this gorgeous, beautiful young Martian woman whose body is just like absolutely gorgeous. These bodies, that once the old brain gets put into the new and the new one goes into the old, he just shelves the old woman's body off to the side, and the very proud, haughty, it turns out queen goddess, queen Za, I'm gonna go with Za, marches out of the thing in her new gorgeous red Martian body, as shown on the cover there, displaying her legs. And he, over the course of this novel, he falls in. He wakes up the old woman who now has that young woman's mind, and he falls in love with her mind. Is truly this. There's in a book of mind swapping and stuff like that. This is definitely a book where we're like, we're going to look beyond the hideous old misshapen thing, because she's got a beautiful mind, of course. And he feels the burning need of, like, I need to figure out a way to reunite this who is Valadia with her body again, so she can be happy. And I'm doing this completely selflessly, even though I've kind of fallen in love with her, but it's as a friend. I've done this. So he leaves her there in kind of this medically induced slumber, which can last for years and years, and the body wouldn't deteriorate, and goes off with a bunch of mind swap friends. One of which is an ape, where the ape has half of its brain is the ape brain, and half of the brain is the men's brain. Raz Thavas is sort of a Dr. Mengele type in a way, of all his weird, brutal experiments that he basically funds through. Doing these brain swaps for wealthy clients. Obviously, Dr. Mengele. This is a book published as a book in 1928. Wasn't around then, but just like he's super coldly rationalistic, he'll just sort of do whatever he needs to do for the thing. There's definitely that whole thing of being just a mind. And it's, though it is interesting later when maybe he gets revivified, how that slightly changes his behavior, though it seems like the mind will eventually take over all these restless hormonal functions and will tamp it down. So that is the Mstr Mnd of Mars. It is a kind of fun adventure. There is, yet again with Burroughs, there's kind of a critique of religion, especially kind of a very kind of fervent religion, where it's like, oh, well, we have to believe this or else it's complete heresy. These are the words of God, but they don't really make much sense, do they? It's like, oh, that would be the complete heresy to say. It's like Edgar Rice Burroughs has continued his kind of continual kind of critique of that, exposing it as kind of a con job in this stuff. It's interesting that we open with this book as, yes, well, Ulysses Paxton is such a true believer in Edgar Rice Burroughs stories that he transported himself to Mars to get to have his own John Carter adventure. So it's kind of interesting. It's interesting that way of Burroughs is saying, like, well, religion's a con job. This is also a cheerful, entertaining con job, though I'm not actually. All I'm asking you to do is buy the story, not perhaps buy my belief systems on top of that. So yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about this one. It was a fun novel. I think it was it was done in the first person, so it's a little bit more kind of direct and zippy as things go. One storyline just kind of zipping along. We didn't have that kind of split thing in the last novel where I felt like there was two parts, and I didn't find the second part with the Manitors as interesting as the first part with the bizarre Kaldanes and Rykor, the head resting on top of a red Martian body, riding it around. It was like just kind of weird, creepy horror stuff. This does have some weird, creepy horror stuff. Edgar Rice Burroughs is good at his making kind of moods and just like what the laboratory of Raz Thavas is like was very kind of it's that kind of creepy, kind of ghoulish beginning is always well appreciated. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Mstr Mnd of Mars. As I continue along reading the novels of Edgar Rice Burroughs in 2020. So number 6, number 7. I didn't actually look up and see what number 7 is, but that'll be coming next month in September. All right, more videos later.